There we go. Hello, good morning. All right.
Good
Jordan and I
morning.
were live this morning, and we have recently been in a book club, okay? And this book club has really opened my mind to a lot of different books that like I never would have read without it. And the most recent one was, I want to make sure I get the author right, Atomic Habits by James Clear. If you guys haven't read it, super good. You can probably get it on anywhere that you get books from, honestly. I listened to it on
Audible.
Yeah, I did mine on Audible too. And honestly, I don't really know how Audible works, but I got credits for like the last book that I got. So then this book was like free because I used credits. I don't know how that works, but whatever.
Right.
So today we're just going to talk a little bit about the book. And yeah, it was really good. The first like part of the book really kind of breaks down the 4 laws of behavior change and how you can make it easier on yourself to make actual lifelong changes. Do you want to talk about the first one and I'll talk about the second one? Or
yeah. So one of them is making it obvious. So if you don't see it, you won't do it. So you have to like give yourself cues and make the cue visible. So reminders, whether it's like writing it down. So say you want to like work out, you can set your workout shoes and like your clothes or whatever you want to wear and like set that out in plain sight. And then they kind of talk about like habit stacking too. So like you could attach it to something that you're like already doing. And so like some examples that they give are like you put a water bottle on the counter, you drink more water. And so that is actually one thing that I've done to drink more water is I constantly just have my water bottle full of ice water. And then it's like, then I want to drink it. If you wanted to like start journaling or even just like reading a book, putting it on your pillow to remind you to do that, because making things visible creates kind of that consistency, I guess.
Yeah. And so another part of it, so number 2 is because it breaks down into 4 parts. So I was talking about the first one. The second one is really like making it attractive to yourself. So like you're more likely to repeat things that feel good to you and are like rewarding to you, right? Both socially and like inside yourself, right? So like being in environments that you want to be in and you desire to be in them will really make it kind of more normal for you and make that habit easier to be. So like pair your habit with something that you want to do, right? So like, this is a silly one, but you know, like the gua sha tools, right? Like whatever on your face. Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, for like lymph, whatever. So I wanted to do that. And so in order to like make it attractive for myself, I'm like, oh, I'm going to do that while I'm drinking my coffee in the morning. Like I'm going to sit down with my coffee because I love drinking coffee in the morning. I'm going to sit down with my coffee, do that. And then I'm going to do some stretching and like whatever. So like I've wanted to do, like I've had the little tool thing for like 2 months and I like never use it because it feels like work then, like, oh, I have to do this. But like if I'm doing it when I'm drinking my coffee and I'm stretching while I'm drinking my coffee, like it just makes it more attractive. Like,
and that's the habit stacking.
Yeah.
Because, you know, and by making it attractive then, because our brain runs on dopamine.
Yeah.
And so dopamine's the feel-good drug. And so, you know, just making it feel good, I guess. Attractive.
Yeah, for sure. And then did you kind of talk about number 3 also? I'm kind of like getting myself confused. Or not
like
really.
Making it easy?
Yeah, you talked about leaving your water bottle out, things like that, right?
Yep. But also, so like with that one then, like making it easier. So like you don't fail because you're lazy. You fail because it requires too much effort. Okay. So I'm going to use my example because I started working out and, you know, I've wanted to work out for a long time, but I would like I didn't know where to start. Okay. So then I would go online and I'd find all these workouts, and it was just like all so overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
And so because it got overwhelming, I would talk myself out of it and never do it.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I found these YouTube videos, and they're like simple exercises. Okay. And because that's all you have to start at, it doesn't have to be hard.
Right.
And the workouts that I found were 30 minutes. Well, I found that even doing 30 minutes to start was like too much.
Right. You were getting annoyed with it. Yeah.
Right. And so, but that's where they talk about like the 2-minute rule is like, it doesn't have to be long. All it has to do is just create that habit. Mm-hmm. So even if it's just putting on your workout shoes and like, that's it. Mm-hmm. So I try to do it every morning, because if I don't do it in the morning, I'll talk myself out of it all day long.
Right.
So to do it right in the morning, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, it's more than not doing anything.
Yes. And this is actually like, I think this book is very popular among like everyone right now, because he talks about like even just making yourself 1% better every day. That's like, that's a trend going around right now. Like just making yourself 1% better. So you don't have to do it 100%, but like you're saying, like, yeah, do 2 minutes of the activity, right? Yep. So like one that I'm trying to do is be better about folding laundry after it is washed and dried. We have a mountain of clothes in our laundry most of the time because I just don't like folding clothes, right? But if I can sit there and fold clothes for 2 minutes, I can actually fold a lot of clothes in 2 minutes. You know what I mean? Like 2 minutes is really not that long, right? Like start the coffee pot, sit down, fold for 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And then eventually maybe I'll do more than 2 minutes and whatever. Like, yeah, creating that habit for sure.
Well, and it's like, I hated it, but my stepmom used to make me make my bed every day. And I am 40 years old and I still make my bed every day.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. And it's just like, I feel like my day cannot start and be productive if I have not made my bed.
Right.
And that's just a habit I've formed. And I know some people are like, oh my gosh, how do you find time to make your bed? And it's like, I didn't have to find time. It just is a habit.
Just happens. Yeah. It just happens.
Yeah. And you know, the thing is too, is I don't even know, is this, yeah. So the thing also is like, when I've tried to work out before, I would have this idea in my head that like, okay, I have to work out for 30 minutes and I have to, right? And then when I wouldn't meet those like
requirements that you gave yourself,
then I would get down on myself and I'd be like, okay, I can't do it. I fail. And then just give up. That's where you can't be hard on yourself. And you just have to be like, hey, I worked out for 2 minutes and that's great. And we're going to do it again tomorrow.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. It's just the consistency of doing the thing. Doesn't have to be perfect, like you're saying. It's just the fact that you even did 2 minutes of it. There you go.
Yep.
So then the next part of it is like to make what you're doing satisfying in a way. Make it like visibly satisfying to yourself. And so I am very much out of sight, out of mind type of person. And so I need it to be visible in front of me, like what I'm doing. And for a long time, my husband and I had tallies on the refrigerator. And I don't even remember what we were tallying exactly, but like we each had our tally. So it was like, okay, yeah, I did this tally, you know, and then whenever there's, 25 tallies on there, you're like, yeah. And so in his book, he recommended like having 2 jars, right? So then like if your task is, let's say it's business related, right? You are going to create 5 pieces of content, this week or something. Your jar over here has 5 like marbles in it, let's say. So every time you create a piece of content, you move it into the next jar, right? So then like the next week you put 5 more in your empty jar, and then you're going to move those 5 over. And pretty soon your jar of completed tasks is getting fuller and fuller and fuller. And you're visibly seeing like, holy smokes, like look at how much I've done, because when it's not in front of you, you're not necessarily recognizing how much you've done.
Well, or like vision boards. That's why vision boards are huge, is because, so like for me, I want to work out because I want to get in shape, and I, am just not happy with my body and the way that it is. So if there's someone where it's like, okay, I want to look like that, then you know what I mean? Or I want to wear these clothes, I'm going to cut those out. I'm going to put them on a vision board so that I can see them every day. And that is going to be my motivation.
Right. Exactly.
And so I have to bring up, because with the tallies or the check marks.
Yeah.
So nurses who use Epic, I remember when the, oh gosh, what do you call it now? I forgot. Where all your green check marks?
Yeah. Oh, your brain.
Yeah, the brain. I remember when that first came out and everyone was like so reluctant and they were like, I hate this thing. And I bet you almost every nurse who has that brain loves to see the green check marks.
Yes. It's like so satisfying.
It is satisfying.
Mm-hmm. And I hate when a medication gets held in the MAR, like MAR hold, and it literally shows overdue for your entire shift.
Yeah.
But you cannot get rid of it on your brain. And it's like, oh my God, I don't like seeing that on there.
Right. It's not overdue.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's so fun. And then, okay. Do you have anything else to add on the 4?
Well, so then just basically like he also does talk about like the inverse. So like how to break the bad habits.
Yeah.
So how to break bad habits or to like stop habits would be exactly the opposite. Okay. So like make it invisible. So one of the things that I'm going to admit to is I like Little Debbie snacks. I have a sweet tooth, and so whatever, we were buying Little Debbie snacks and I was like, I can't help myself. And my boyfriend liked them too. And so finally he was like, you want to know what? We're just going to give them up. As a whole household, we're just not going to buy them anymore. And I was like, thank God, because even knowing that they're in the house, they're not invisible because I know that they're here. And so then when I have that craving, I just go find them. Yep. So for me, making them invisible is just not even having them here.
Right.
And so then making it unattractive, making it difficult, again, like, one of the examples I think in the book was like with video games, like unhooking it all and putting it away every single time. Yep. Because then in order for you to play, you have to pull all that out and set it back up. And you're also then, if you put it away, you're making it invisible.
Yep.
And so then too, I think on here it talks about like removing apps from your phone. So there have been times that I'll have like games on my phone. And I get like so enthralled in these games and I need to like give it a break. So to just delete it completely because then I can't just have it,
Yeah, for sure. And like with I'm going to go back to the laundry thing because this is like a big thing. Okay. This is a big thing for me. So our laundry room, our house is 100 years old. So like things are not set up super great. So the laundry room is straight off of the kitchen. You have to walk through it to get to the bathroom. And there is no door blocking the kitchen into the laundry room. Like, so you can just see it. So we used to have baskets that we would like put our clean laundry in, right? Well, a basket, it contains it all, right? And so it doesn't seem like there's as much clothes and like it's kind of more neat, whatever. I don't have baskets for clean clothes anymore because it was hiding it. So like literally you take it out of the dryer, you don't have anywhere to put it. Like it goes right on the floor for you to fold it type of a deal. Like you fold it right out of the dryer. Like there is no place for it to be hidden. Like we have 3 dirty clothes baskets in the closet for like dirty clothes and those go in the wash, but like no clean clothes baskets anymore.
Right.
Yeah. Like no sock basket for the socks to pile up and have like 100 pairs of mismatched socks. Like
I know I used to do that too.
Yeah.
Because I hate having to turn the socks right side out. because boys in my house, men and boys, like to just pull them off.
Mhm.
And it's like, oh my gosh. And if you have them do it, they will just throw them in the drawer unfolded. And I can't.
Well, and so another thing, and I don't know which side this would fall on. This is falling on the easy side for me as far as folding clothes. I tell my husband, if the clothes go in the dirty clothes basket inside out, they're getting washed inside out and they're getting folded inside out. I am not turning your clothes around because you are a grown man. You know what I'm saying? Like if you are gonna do that inside out thing, you can just undo it when you put it on.
Right. Or put it on inside out. I don't care.
Then because I was like, you know what, I don't have to worry about it because that's his thing. If he doesn't care, I don't care.
Right. Good for you.
Oh my gosh.
But my like type A OCD can't.
Yeah.
Like my closet is hung up color coordinated.
Oh
yeah.
You don't want to see anything. It's every time we get on these calls, I have so much fun because you and I are so polar opposite.
I know.
It is just so fun to like hear how you do things because I'm like, what?
I know, and I love hearing
with me. You're like, what do you mean your clothes are on the floor, Haley? What do you mean? What do you mean they're on the floor?
But you know, I can be a little eccentric, and I have like had a basket of unfolded socks. And
eccentric, you're so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so yeah, making the habits, your bad habits, difficult to do. Making them unattractive to yourself is really going to help deter you from doing it. Yeah. And
so
no, go ahead.
Basically, you don't need more discipline. You don't need to try harder. You just need a better habit design.
Right.
So set it up to make it easier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Essentially, yeah. Make your habits that you want to achieve easier. And like this book was such an easy listen too. Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed it on Audible. And like if you are a person that listens to audiobooks, like once you listen for so long, you can like increase the speed and like still like your brain just like catches up to it. So like I've listened to this book so fast on 2x speed. And honestly, I'm gonna listen to it again. Like it was so good. And it really, it was really good. And it broke it down in such an easy way of, like, okay, these are the 4 like laws of how you're going to change your behavior. Yeah. So like make it obvious to yourself, make it attractive, make it easy, make it satisfying to create it. And then to get rid of your bads, make it unsatisfying, make it hard, make it not attractive to you, and make it less obvious. Like put it away. Like you said, get it far away from you. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then like kind of like, let's see, what time do you want to hop off? Because I know you have other stuff to do before I get onto another tangent.
Oh, I just have to be done probably by 11 or a little after.
Okay. So like the next part of the book, he kind of talks about, I don't know how I want to explain it, but essentially like instead of saying, I want to run a marathon, you're going to say, I am a runner. Because like you're making it.
They call it identity-based habits.
Thank you. I was like, I can't remember what this is called.
Yep. And so basically, like, you know, a runner runs, a reader reads. And if you want to start eating healthier, then you're just going to be like, I'm a healthy person. Mm-hmm. And so just creating that as your identity then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you are. And we talk about that a lot in our business too. Like if you want to become that person, you are that person, right? Like I am successful, right? I am a runner. I am a good mom. Like when you start telling yourself that, you start doing the things that align with that identity. Yeah.
Well, and like when you say things like, oh, I can't eat that because I'm on a diet. Like you're making it seem like what you're doing is like this chore.
Yes.
Where if you're like, I'm not going to eat that because I want to be healthier, you know, or like, you know, something along those lines. Like, you know, changing it from a negative
to a positive. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. So instead of being like, oh, yeah, I can't eat that because I'm on a diet, be like, oh, I'm choosing something healthier, or I'm choosing this as an option instead because I'm eating healthier. Or,
Right.
yeah, like making it not a negative thing, but a positive thing.
Like,
yeah.
I'm a healthy person and that's not healthy. So,
yeah. Because, yeah, when you change your identity, it just kind of changes your behavior naturally along with it. Like, just kind of, you want to flow. You want to be that person. You want to be the runner.
Yeah. Well, and that's why, you know, okay, so I used to be a smoker.
Mhm.
And so one of the things with me when I quit is like, I wasn't like I didn't have to smoke all day, every day. Okay. Cause I'm a nurse. So, I never would go outside and smoke at work because I didn't like smelling like smoke. And so it wasn't this huge addiction, but when I quit smoking, I actually had to leave a pack of cigarettes somewhere. The reason being is because in my mind, if I took it away, it was saying that I can't have that. Like, I don't know if that makes sense, but like,
yeah. So then restricting yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it was like, if I don't have it, then it's like my mind's like freaking out and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need it. Where if it's like I have them in my car and I know that they're there, and then just telling myself, you know, I don't want that.
Right.
Type thing.
Yeah.
And so that is what helped me instead of
I can't do it. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. I like that a lot.
And so I know that kind of like defeats like what we talked about earlier. We're like making it invisible, which I did make it invisible. I didn't just like have them sitting out, but in my mind, I knew that they were somewhere close. So we're like, if it was the Little Debbie thing, don't even, I'll go eat them.
Right. I know exactly what you mean by that. But I mean, like, and you have to adapt it to fit like your personality too. Like, what works for one person is not going to work for the next person. Like, you have to adapt. Like, I have ADHD, and habits are very difficult for me. Like, simple habits are difficult for me because everything feels like a chore. And if you like do research on ADHD, like, that's very common. Like, habits are not easy to make. So like, I really have to focus like to do it. So like in the mornings before work, like I'm not a type A personality at all. And like Jordan knows that. But like in the mornings before work, I have a very type A routine, because if I don't do my morning stuff in that exact order, I forget to do things. I will forget to brush my teeth, or forget to put on deodorant, forget to pack my lunch. Like if I don't do A, B, C, D, E, F, G in that order, I will forget. And it has taken me 9 years of, you know, being a nurse and having like the same type of a routine to like know, well, I've been doing it for that long, but like I know if I even miss one thing, like something, I'm going to forget something. And it, like habits that come naturally to people, I'm very jealous of, because like I have to really work hard at it.
Right. Well, I'm glad that you can recognize that. And, you know, you've clearly found a way to make it work for you.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what, like you said, everyone's different. And so what works for one person might not work for another. And, you know, also, I don't blame you for having a scattered mind. I think that is what a lot of nurses have, is that because our brain is just everywhere all the time, that it is easy to forget some of the simplest things. Like I still, when I leave home, I'm like, I forgot something. And so I will like go through a checklist in my mind. Like, okay, I have my purse, I have my phone, I have my sunglasses. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's just like, otherwise I could forget. I mean, I would forget my head sometimes if it wasn't attached, honestly.
Right.
It just depends on the day.
Yeah. So. And I mean, if you look at like statistics and things like that, like most ICU nurses are going to be very type A personality, right? Like they just are. And most ER nurses are very type B. A lot even have ADHD. And like when it comes to like let's say forgetting things, you're like you mentioned forgetting the like the little things, right? Like the things that aren't necessarily important, right? So like let's say in the medical field, like we have a lot of things in our brain. You have medications, you have to like check your patients, the doctors, the family, like all these things, right? And so like our priorities in our brain put that glass of ice water at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? So like we can remember all of the important things in that emergent situation, but like your brain pushes out those unimportant things, you know?
Well, so even like, because I feel like, so like working in the ER, because so much is happening and so many things like are unpredictable. So like you can have a lady who like, okay, maybe she needs this pill and this pill is like, quote unquote, it's important, right? But all of a sudden you have a trauma come through the door and that's what you're focused on. Like, and that's where that brain is so like wonderful because it'll show you a red mark and then you're like, oh yeah, I have to give her that medication.
Oh yes. So sorry, the brain. She's back to epic brain.
Yeah.
Talking,
oh
not
yeah.
our brain in our head. Nurse
No.
chart.
Yeah. The charting brain.
Yeah.
Is because
yeah,
you know, that pill for that lady was important and it still is important, but something more important has now come up. And my mind can't work like that. That's why I'm not an ER nurse. And that's why I was an ICU nurse, is because, I mean, yeah, you still have unexpected things, but it's more of a controlled environment in the ICU versus the ER. And so the ICU, you could go in and I, you know, had my routine of how I would do things. And, you know, like I said, unexpected things would happen, but not like the ER.
I'm just like having flashbacks to my weekend now. And I'm like, yeah, you're totally right. Yeah. Like crazy stuff does happen, you know, like I come back with the patient from radiology and all of a sudden my teammate is putting someone on a BiPAP. And I was like, what is going on?
Right.
What's going on? And my guy's like, I'm having some pain in my hip. I'm like, all right, I will be back. And it was like literally a long time before I was back in there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, yes, his pain was important to control, but so was helping someone breathe, you know?
Right.
Like that is literally the basis of nursing school is what is the most important? Like that is literally everything. Like everything on, like they will give you a question and every single answer is the right answer, but which one is the most right? Which one is the most important? And yeah, I don't know.
And that's exactly what nursing is. They're all right and they're all important.
Yeah.
But which one is the most?
Yeah. Yep. For sure. I don't know why we got on that tangent. That one a little.
I don't know.
That's all right. So
yeah. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna move on to like the next thing, like kind of the he talks about the becoming 1% better, you know, and how that is like a huge movement right now. Like I see it all over Instagram, everything like that. Like essentially making small changes, like even one small change, even 2 minutes of an exercise a day, or putting on your workout shoes or whatever, every day doing those small things is eventually going to build up into a big thing. Like progress, you often don't see like the progress day by day, but then if you look at it, like if you look back at the month and you're like, oh wow, look how far I've come in the last 30 days, like then you'll see it. But like if you're looking at it every single day, you might not see the progress. But yeah, if you look back at it like over the last 30 days, over the last 60 days, like then you can see the progress. So don't think that you have to do more every day. It's just a little bit more.
Yep. And like, and he talks about starting like ridiculously small. So like, even if it's, you know, one page, you want to start reading a book and you just read one page.
Yeah.
And actually like So I can't read a book. I have to do the audiobooks.
Mm-hmm.
Because then that way I can also like listen to it while I'm doing something else, whether I'm driving or whatever. And if I try to read a book, I like want to fall asleep.
Yeah.
But so they actually talk about this micro learning, and Haley, I think I like brought it up to you. So they have these apps, and it actually, so you can like, it takes like the most important like topics from certain books, and it just like teaches you, it's like 15-minute like blips from like all these different books, so that you don't have to sit down and try to take in an entire book.
Mm-hmm.
Where you're just kind of, you know what I mean? So like,
yeah, you're not reading all the filler information. You're just getting, the highlights, the breakdown, the meat and potatoes of the book. Yeah.
Yep.
And that's definitely something that I think I would enjoy, because not that I get bored with audiobooks, but sometimes I do, depending on, what they're talking about or what I've got going on. And like you said, like your brain can drift off too. Like you said, reading makes you want to fall asleep. Yeah, sometimes your brain drifts and all of a sudden you're like, wait, what was I reading, or what was I even listening to? But if it's only 15 minutes, like you can do 15 minutes while you wash the dishes, or like 15 minutes while you are in the car, or like, it makes it a lot easier to do it.
Well, and then you're just getting like the meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
Not the filler stuff, because like you can go through a book, and like that is one thing like with Atomic Habits, and it is nice, but at the end of every chapter he basically like summarizes everything that you've gone over.
Mm-hmm.
From, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's like, I mean, if you cut all that out, but then again, it's like repetitive, so repetitiveness also helps it to like stick in your brain. But like we talked about, it's different for everyone. So, but
people micro stuff a lot faster. I take a lot of repetition.
Yeah. And for me, it's more like you said, like I like the highlights, the big things. So if micro learning is a thing, and there are apps, the one I have is Headway.
Okay, I'm gonna write that down. You told me that earlier, but I'm gonna write it down too. And
and it's free. It's really good. And you just kind of, it asks like what your interests are, and so then it'll just like throw all these books and kind of take the pieces away from it, and it's kind of cool. So
I like that.
Yeah. So the goal isn't the habit. The habit is how you become the person who achieves the goal. So, you just want to become the person who lives these goals.
Yeah. And really, like, reading the book, it helps you understand that it's not just the goal that matters. It's the system that you're using to try to get to your goal. Like, if you just decide you're going to do something, but you don't change the way that you've tried to do it before, is it going to be successful? Probably not. But if you break it down into make it, I gotta go back up so I'm saying the right thing. Like, make it obvious, have it in front of you, make it attractive, making you want to do it, making it easier for you, and like giving yourself like a satisfying reward for doing it is going to make it a lot easier to get there. And then making sure that like you're doing it in a place too that is able, like, that you're able to do it successfully. So like, if let's say you want to quit smoking, right? Like, probably don't try to quit smoking when everyone else in your house is smoking. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe that's not the best environment to try to make that habit change. Like, maybe you need to change your environment first and then try to make it a habit. Otherwise, you're going to get upset with yourself for like not being able to quit or not following through or things like that.
Yeah.
And then, just starting small, that 1% better every day, starting by putting on your running shoes first, and then 2 minutes of exercise, maybe the next day or whatever, and slowly building up, or like reading 1 page a day for a couple days and then 2 pages, like just starting small and building the habit of, putting on the shoes or opening the book. Like, once the habit is there, the rest will fall into place.
Yeah. Well, and even too, like, So what I've done also, like with working out, is, so I've told my boyfriend about it, and now it's not his job to like hold me accountable.
Right.
It's nice that, like, okay, so basically I've told him like what I want to do. Okay. So that I want to work out every day. And so that will end up being like a topic. So like he will later on be like, oh, so did you work out today?
Mm-hmm.
And not that, you know, he's like, oh, you need to work out, you know what I mean? But it's just like, then it puts that thought into my head, and it makes me, it helps me to like want to be consistent, so that I can report back to him and be like, yes, I did work out. And then he's like, oh, that's so awesome. I'm so proud of you.
Right.
And, you know,
yeah, I totally get that too, because then like, if you know he's going to ask you about it, and then you're like, well, if I don't do it, he's still going to ask me. And then I'm not like, then I'm going to feel like, oh yeah, I should have done it. If I, you know, when he asks you about, just like, it's another way of like holding yourself accountable when other people are aware of it. And like when you're talking about it, and like, it's definitely a good way to hold yourself accountable, and to like, just make it more, I don't want to say persistent, but
well, it makes it more attractive, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, because, you know, he is going to praise me over this for being consistent. And that like makes me feel better.
Yeah.
And so, you know, whatever you have to do. But like I said, that's just like a bonus, you know, like I do all the things. Like I have basically just told myself like, okay, this is the workout video I'm doing. This is where I'm doing it at, and this is when I'm doing it. And to just do it and know that like, even if I don't do it for the full amount of time, that I've done it longer than nothing at all. And
right. You've done more than not doing anything.
Yeah.
And that is so,
yeah. And so then just creating that habit, because I think that, what do they say, that it takes like 30 days to create a habit?
I have heard so many different things over the years, but it does. Like, I've heard anywhere from like, it takes 18 times to like 30 plus times, or like something, but it does take way more than just a handful of times to create a habit. But if you start small and you don't make it hard and overwhelming for yourself, the habit of like just initiating it will be in place. And then before you know it, you'll be 5 minutes into a workout and be like, well, I'm just going to keep going. Like, I'm already doing this. Like, let's just keep going. And pretty soon, you know, after so many days, like you're doing the full 30, and you like, it doesn't feel like any more effort than the first day when you had to put your shoes on. Like, you just it just becomes a habit. Yeah.
Well, and like, so one of the things my boyfriend says is like, so say there's something I want to do and I'm like talking about it, he'll be like, well, you've got the easiest part taken care of. And I'm like, what's that? And he's like talking about it. Like, now you got to do it, you know? And that is so true. Like, it's not easy, but you can make it easier. And like I said, I make my bed every day, and that's just a habit. And now I just like do it unconsciously, you know?
Yeah.
So then one of the last things that I think we wanted to talk about is, it's called the plateau of latent potential. And what this explains is why effort often feels unrewarded in the beginning. Even so, like when you're doing the right thing. So it's like, okay, I'm doing all the things. I'm working out and I'm eating good, but I don't see anything happening. Okay. And so that is like where you're putting in the work and you can't see the results. That's the plateau. Okay. And most people quit during this time, not because the habit isn't working, but because you haven't seen the results yet. And I love the analogy. Do you want to talk about the analogy, Haley?
I don't know if okay. I think you should start and then I'll fill it in, because I don't want to say the wrong thing.
So it's the ice cube analogy. And so like, imagine an ice cube sitting on a table, okay? 25 degrees, nothing's happening. 28 degrees, nothing's happening. 31 degrees, nothing is happening. And all of a sudden at 32 degrees, the ice melts.
Yep.
The breakthrough didn't happen at 32 degrees. It was the result of every degree before it.
Yep.
And your habits work the same way.
Yep.
So then, like, early habits create internal change before external results. So you're building the skill, you're shifting your identity, you're rewriting your behavior, you are, creating momentum. It doesn't just like happen overnight. So you don't see it. The work is being stored. It's not being wasted. You just have to wait for the results.
Exactly. And yeah, if you're checking in every single day at every single degree change, like it, and you're not seeing a change and you're getting discouraged, like don't focus on the everyday, like focus on where you want to be, not on where you are. And then all of a sudden, one day you're going to be like, oh my gosh, like I'm here. But then guess what? Then you're going to set a new goal for yourself and you're just going to keep going because that is what you're going to do because it feels so good when you reach those goals. You're just going to keep setting another one. But so like stop focusing on where you are in that 1 degree change and focus on where you want to be. And then before you know it, you're going to be at that 32 degrees and your ice cube's going to be melted. Like, yeah,
you're just building up to that. And, I also always come back to like the Walt Disney analogy too. So, Walt Disney, when he had the idea of building Disney World, he had to get funding. Okay. So he like went to a bank and they basically like laughed at him, and he went to another bank and they laughed at him. And I want to say he went to like 32 banks and they all rejected him. And then the 33rd bank, they finally agreed with his idea. And so you think about what if he would have quit at that 32nd bank? If he was like, okay, I'm not going to do this anymore. And his wife didn't believe in him. And I mean, there'd be no Disney World.
Right. So I just Googled it and it was actually 302 banks.
Oh, okay. Way more.
Way, but 30 banks still. Like I'm telling you right now in our business, when we talk with people and like, let's say they want to get funding for something, whatever, and the first 2 options don't work for them, a lot of people get so defeated. They're like, I can't, like, this isn't for me, like, and they give up on whatever. Like, think of him. 302 banks. Like he was so bound and determined. He knew where he wanted to be and he just kept going. And like, that's another thing that we push for in this business too, is like, go for no, right? Like if you knew that you were only 100 no's away from like your life being changed, wouldn't you try to burn through those as much as possible, as fast as possible to get to like your goal,
Well, and it's like, they call it the valley of disappointment. So it's a phase where like your motivation drops. Like think and I'm sure he did think this, like Walt Disney probably had to be like, okay, nothing's changing. Nothing's working. Maybe this is a dumb idea. Maybe this isn't for me. But in reality, you're on the verge of the curve. So most people stop one step before the compound effect kicks in. So it's just trying to like keep that positive mindset, but that also then like, that's why I love our business and the community that we're a part of with our leaders. And because then you can go to that space and they can help build you back up. And that is like so huge is to just like support each other, because otherwise you can sit and be like, okay, maybe this isn't working. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this.
Well, exactly. Like even like the women that I work with directly, like the women that are directly with me, like when things don't go well for them, let's say a sale, like someone backs out of a sale, or, they're getting a lot of pushback from like somebody, right? Like or like a spouse or, you know, whatever, like I'll be like, okay, you know what? We got to do some mindset work here, because like we are not going to let this bring us down. And I will give them podcasts. I will give them book recommendations or like YouTube videos or like whatever. We'll talk through it and we'll be like, okay, like this is what went well. This isn't what went necessarily great, but like what were the good parts? Like, okay, so then like next time this is what we're going to do. Oh, we learned from that. You know, like this is what we're learning from it. Like we really help each other change that mindset, change our mindset to not dwell on the bad.
Yeah.
You know, and that is something that is really amazing about this business, because with sales, and it doesn't matter what you're selling, and what business you're in, like if you don't also put the work into like your mental health and like that, you're not going to be happy, because if you're constantly focused on the negative, like everything is going to be negative around you, and that's not what we want for you guys. That's what we want for anyone. And so like if we can jump in and help each other get out of that mindset, like that's what we're going to do.
Yep. Well, and then too, like, you know, when you quit, it just breaks the process. So like you think back to that ice cube, like stopping resets the pressure. So like if I was like, okay, this ice cube isn't going to melt, I'm just going to put it back in the freezer.
Lower the degrees.
You're going to go all the way back, because now you have to go through those degrees again to get it to melt. And so then you have to rebuild momentum. You're starting over. You have to reprove your identity. And so like, you just need to be consistent in keeping the heat on in the beginning.
Well, exactly. And like the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, like if you haven't read it, do it. If you have read it, read it again, listen to it again. And like, I'm going to listen to it. Honestly, I'll probably throw it on again today on 2x speed and like blow through it again while I'm at home, because it was just so good. And it is such good reminders on like how you don't have to make a huge change in order to make a difference in your life. And they can just be a small change every day, 1% better every day. And focusing on where you want to be and not where you are, and you'll get there. You really will. And if your goal for 2026 is to become financially stable, financially free, have more free time in your life, right? This business can help you get there. We can help you get there. Okay. And this month, they've actually continued the cash back, which is amazing. So like when you start your high ticket sales business with us, you can get anywhere between, I think it's like $1,700 to $2,500 cash back just when you start your business. And I don't know how long they're going to continue to do this, but it's something really fun that I think would be amazing for anyone that started this month. Because like, what would getting that money for you do for you like right now? Like you haven't even made a sale yet and you like already have that money in your pocket. Like it would just be amazing.
And especially now, like with tax time.
Yeah.
You know, people are getting tax returns. Like don't spend that money on, you know, something stupid. Like invest it, make it grow. Exactly. Like that is the best thing that you can do. And I guess a key takeaway that I want to talk about or just say before we're done is like, you're not stuck. You're just early. Yeah. And this plateau isn't punishment. It's just preparing you. So like keep applying the pressure because your ice is about to melt.
Exactly. You're 1 degree away from 1% away from everything changing. And don't give up. Don't give up. No. Keep going. And
our inboxes are always open.
Yeah, don't hesitate to reach out to us because we're not scary, nothing like that. All we're going to do is we're going to ask you your goals. Okay. We want to know like where you want to be, where your goals are. And yeah, learn a little bit about you and if this is going to be a good fit for you. And then we'll get you over all the information and hop on a call with you and go from there. So like we said, don't hesitate, reach out. And you guys have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.